We begin this morning with breaking news that we're following. 5 people were shot and 1 person was killed in downtown Syracuse overnight. Now let's take a live look. Our photographer on the scene right now with the sun coming up, happening about 6 hours after it happened. You can still see flashing lights. Police still on the scene, pretty active, a lot quieter than we did see overnight around 12:30 or so. But the area was blocked off there for some time. Now you're taking a live look right now at the 300 block of South Clinton Street, and this happened shortly before 12:30 this morning, coming up now actually after 6:30. Taking a look now at the scene that we shot earlier this morning a few hours ago, and right after it happened, as you could see, several crews including police, fire, EMS, ambulance responded. A lot heavier police presence than we just saw a few moments ago on that live shot. Now a 24-year-old man was pronounced dead. Another victim in critical condition this morning. The 3 other people that were shot are suffering non-life-threatening injuries this morning. Right now, no arrests have been made. Police do believe this was, in fact, an isolated incident and do believe that one shooter is responsible. Now, we're actively working to follow this breaking news, and we'll bring you updates on air and online as they unfold.
This latest shooting happening on a crowded Friday night in the busiest social spot in the city. For many in Armory Square, it was a night that began preparing to order drinks at the bar, and for others, getting ready to serve them. Whether you were partying or working, the night ended pretty much the same for everyone there. Armory Square back in business Saturday afternoon.
One guy, fatal.
Following a night that ended with Armory Square lit up in flashing blue and red lights, covered in police tape, and shooting victims taken away on stretchers. Syracuse Common Councilor Amir Gethers was there with friends when he heard the gunshots.
And we heard screaming, we heard loud people, sound like they were, we heard people sound like they were hurt. People are saying, oh my God, what's going on? We see people running down the streets.
This basically happened right here. Alexandra Campbell was one of the people forced to take cover, closing up as her shift was ending at Funkin' Waffles.
I just seen blood everywhere, a lot of cops. I didn't really know what to do. I was crying.
She says she saw people arguing but never expected that to end in gunfire. So now coming back to your job at a restaurant in downtown Syracuse, there's an element of fear there just coming to work.
I didn't really think that I would see 3 people out on the ground and blood.
It's an image that she says she's still trying to process. Left hiding behind her workstation for 10 minutes last night, not sure what would come next. As police arrived in large numbers, she says she saw everyday people trying to help the victims.
I did see the guy laying here on the ground. There was some lady laying with him actually trying to calm him down.
Police confirming 5 people shot, 1 dead, 1 in critical condition.
It puts a pit in your stomach.
Kevin Beckett, general manager at Modern Malt, says he can't quite make sense of what's happened, but knows his neighbors along Armory Square will continue to be there for everyone.
We'll still be here, smiling faces, happy to see you, welcome you with open arms, and happy to give you French toast.
A community spirit staying strong downtown, even as everyone is left shaken by last night's tragedy.
And you can't. It's brazen, it's senseless, and it's stupid.
It's like the mall, Armory Square. Just seems like you're not really safe anywhere.
Tonight, morning in Syracuse, 1 person is dead as another fights for his life in the hospital after 5 people were shot overnight in a busy area of downtown. Another violent incident involving a gun in a popular weekend spot, leaving a community desperate for answers. Good evening, I'm Connor White. Syracuse police are still looking for a suspect in last night's deadly shooting in Armory Square. It happened on the 300 block of Clinton Street just after midnight at the center of popular bars and restaurants. That's where 5 people were shot. First responders taking all 5 victims to the hospital. Police say 3 have non-life-threatening injuries, 1 is in critical condition, and 24-year-old Akok Lual was pronounced dead later that night. Here's a live look at Armory Square right now. It appears the shooting may not have done too much. You can see a cop car right there. That's the intersection of Walton Street and South Clinton. That's the position they were in last night. It's where they are every Friday and Saturday night. Street looking quiet right now. Last night's shooting part of a troubling trend. Overall, violent crime is up, according to police data. Homicides are down marginally compared to this time last year, but there's concern that as the weather begins to warm up and more people hit the streets, violence will follow. Our Laura Lagarde reports.
The deadly shooting last night that left a 24-year-old dead has sparked anger and frustration in our city leaders. Now they're addressing what needs to be done about the violence as we approach the warmer months. Another shooting in Syracuse took the life of another young person. Syracuse Police Chief Kenton Buckner says this is happening too often, all on his department's watch.
Too often those incidents involve young men of color both as victim and suspect. There's no question that poverty is one of the common denominators that impact those young men.
Chief Buckner says Syracuse has a lot of good, but also a lot of challenges. And as we get closer to the warmer months, he's motivated to make sure we don't see another violent summer after 29 homicides were recorded in 2021. Police data showing violent crimes overall is up, partially blaming staffing issues, looking to bolster his police force with new upcoming classes of officers.
Increase the number of officers that we have in the locations to where we can pretty much forecast and predict where these issues have historically occurred.
Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh expressed his frustration with the shooting that occurred, calling it senseless. Chief Buckner says he and the mayor will work together to provide a plan to help the youth and work on the police staffing shortage to assist with the violence going on in the city.
It's infuriating, it's angering, and obviously if there was an easy solution, we would have found it.
This all comes just a few weeks after Mayor Walsh appointed a new director to reduce gun violence, Lateef Johnson-Kinsey, a new position that Walsh says will bring a big part of the plan to proactively build programs and strategies to help our youth and young adults.
There are spaces where programs need to be and services need to be, and that's why the office was created, so we can find out where those spaces are. And I believe it is between the age of 19 and 25. We can look at doing more programming.
Chief Buckner says to successfully reduce this violence, not only the police, but everyone in the community needs to work together.
If you have something, a talent or a testimony, a treasure that you can share specifically with our youth, we need it.
Chief Buckner says we will continue to be frustrated if we don't work together to end these crimes.